Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Confabulation, the weekly show where we talk all things Transformers, from the latest figures and collector news to Transformers lore, Energon Universe upcoming releases, and everything happening across Cybertron. You have reached the show. I am your host, Eman, and on this week's show, we're going to be talking about some San Diego Comic-Con and BotCon exclusives that I've found online that I want to share with you guys. San Diego Comic-Con, a Skybound panel was announced. We're going to take a look a little bit into that and talk a little bit about some drops that are happening. And main topic of the day today is, how do you prepare for these conventions? They are so massive. A lot of us get really excited about going to conventions. BotCon is this weekend, which is one of the biggest Transformer conventions in the nation, and San Diego Comic-Con is only a few weeks away. How do you juggle going to conventions? So we're going to talk about that at the end during our final thought. Big shout out to our channel sponsor, Comic Capsule here. Make sure to head on over to comiccapsule.com. Use code EMAN10 for 10% off your next order of comic capsules. Thank you so much to Comic Capsule for doing that right there. Also, if you ever decide to make purchases over at showzstore.com, head on over to showzstore.com, log in, make your payment, do whatever you can. And then while you're there, go ahead and click on that support your favorite reviewer and enter code EMAN, and a little portion of your purchases do come to the channel. And it does help us out a little bit. I say us. I always say us. Me helps me out, but then you're a part of it. It's a part of it. Us. We're a team. You and I. So us. So it does help out the channel a little bit here. So any future purchases, I do thank you for doing that right there. So yeah, today's show, it's going to be a little, I said quick before, and I tend to talk a whole lot, but I'm going to try to go through some of our segments pretty quick today, because I do want to get to the end and talk to you guys about how do you prepare for conventions, because I feel like it's a big thing to talk about. Like I said, especially with this weekend with BotCon and San Diego Comic-Con coming up here shortly. All right. Let's say hello to the chat. Let's take a look and see. I want to see who's here. I want to know if you're here. Are you here? I believe you're here. Look at this. Brian's in the house. Hello, everyone. Hello, Brian. Thank you so much for coming by, hanging out. The hair is live. Trev, the shipping guru. Thank you so much for coming by and hanging out, you guys. Make sure you guys follow Trev. He has a wonderful Instagram page. He also has a really cool weekly show where he shows off and talks about new comic books that he picks up that day. It's every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. That's my time. Trev, it's my time. It's my time, Jonathan Rowe, one of my Transformer buddies, is in the house. What's going on, Jonathan? Big Easy, what up, man? What's going on, Big Easy? I'm so happy you're here. Ryan Riley in the house, previous Comic Capsule winner right there. What's going on, my friend? Me, you, we, us. That's right, Trev. That is right. And remember, you guys, every show I do give away a comic capsule. So you do want to stick until the end for that, because I will throw out the hashtag later on. And I hope you win. I hope you win, or that other person behind you. I hope you guys win. All right. Let's go ahead and get into this a little bit. Let me go ahead and just remind you guys about my channel membership. I do have the channel memberships alive right there. I do have 3 different tiers of channel memberships: Legends class, Commander class, Masterpiece class, and 99 cents. Gives you loyalty badges, emojis, and member only polls. So I will ask you guys on YouTube, about some things, and then you guys kind of help me direct how the channel goes. Commander class, you get all of that, plus you get early access to videos. I do make my videos members only first, and they do go live a few days later for everyone else. You are also going to be a part of members only live streams, which I will set up in the future. Definitely want you guys involved with that right there. Masterpiece class, this is $4.99. This is it gives you everything, plus it gets you, of course, entered into the monthly prize pack, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. And if you guys head on over to my merch store, it does give you discounts on getting things like sweaters and t-shirts there at the merch store. So yeah, that's what the membership entails. $5 a month, gets you all of that. Plus you get entered in to win things like this. Oh, we'll talk about that later on, though. We'll talk about that later on. I promise you guys. Let's do this. Check this out, you guys. This is something that just came up. I think I'm headed to Comic-Con. I think I'm headed to San Diego Comic-Con this year. This is one of the reasons why I wanna bring this up right here, because I probably wanna jump some, ideas and bounce some ideas off of you guys right here as far as our final thoughts goes. I might be headed to Comic-Con, and, I still gotta get some things situated here, at home first, but, I have very, 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 very close proximity to attending Comic Con this year. If I do go, I'll probably be going Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm only going to be there for roughly 48 plus another 24, 72 hours. So yeah, so if you're headed to Comic Con, let me know. I'd love to meet some of the people in YouTube in the real world, in IRL. That would be so fun to meet some of you guys over there at Comic-Con. If I go, this will be my second time going. I went back in 2023, and it was so overwhelming. It was Mecca, it's geeks Mecca right there. And that was the year that DC and Marvel didn't have any announcements. So the showroom floor was even more busy, is what a lot of the vendors, a lot of the artists that we know, they were telling us. They're like, my goodness, it's so busy on the showroom floor. But that's because Hall H didn't have any major announcements that year. I'm not sure what's happening with Hall H this year. And if you don't know, Hall H is where they do all of the grand announcements, the Doomsday, the Marvel, the big DC announcements. So I didn't see if they were doing that this year. I don't know if there's anything going on in Hall H, but I'm definitely going to, be a part of, well, not be a part of that, but I'm going to be there. And if Hall H has anything going on, I'm hoping that the showroom floor would be so much lighter than it was the last time I attended. So if there's anything from San Diego Comic-Con that you want, don't ask me. I won't be able to get, but I do want to know, if there's something in San Diego Comic-Con, let me know in the chat, what are some of the things that you have your eye on, because it's good to see, what other people's interests are in our world of geek. Because it's not just Eman's world of geek. It's yours too. It's ours. We are all a part of this world of geek together as nerds. Oh my. That's only right there, a little lo-fi for all of us. And let's talk about this, the July membership giveaway. So becoming a Masterpiece tiered member, you have a chance to win a prize pack. And this month's prize pack includes this right here. Oh man, where's my face? Why is my face like this? Why is my face like there? Well, anyway, this month's prize pack does include some amazing things that I'm gonna give to you guys. I'm giving back. I'm gonna give it back. So first of all, right here, Mark Spears Devastator variant cover. So Mark Spears gave this to me, like directly, and huge shout out to Mark Spears, one of the kindest humans in our culture right here. He reached out to me. He's like, hey, you know what? I see, that you're a big Transformers fan. I got some stuff for you. So I'm going to be giving away Mark Spears Devastator variant, of course, wrapped in a comic capsule. Also included in this month's prize pack, there is Mark Spears Monsters Halloween edition card pack, and one of those is signed by Mark Spears right there, as you can see on the right side. And this will also include a couple of Transformers. One of them is a BotCon exclusive. This weekend is BotCon, so I felt like, you know what, let me go ahead and give this BotCon exclusive figure out to you guys. And that was not a Transformer itself, but it is a transformable piece of plastic thingy toy for those who want to add things like this to their collection. So yeah, that's what this month's channel membership will get you. So if you guys become a Masterpiece tier member, this is the prize pack for the month of July. I definitely want to encourage everyone to join, become a channel member, and you be eligible to win that prize pack right there. I hope you win. Hope you win. All of you. One of you. I hope you guys win right there. It'd be really, really, really cool. Jonathan Rowe, I don't think DC's going to Hall of H. Well, crap. Now that means that the floor is going to be so much more full of humans there, and that's okay. That's fine, I don't have an agenda for this year's San Diego Comic-Con other than going out and just enjoying the environment. I do know what is there now. I do know what isn't there. I do know how big that convention is. That convention is what they say 5 football fields long. And yeah, it feels like I think that convention's almost a good quarter of a mile, maybe even half a mile long. It's massive. So and to think that there's over 200,000 to 300,000 people there in one spot, like in a small 6-7 block radius is just mind-boggling. But yeah, want to go there and talk to fans, talk to cosplayers, talk to artists, and see what we can do. There's a couple of Transformers exclusives there also that we're going to talk about here in a little bit at San Diego Comic-Con. So if you're interested in doing that, it's interesting. Interesting for sure. Nice. Trev says nice. That's it. That is it right there. So yeah, I'm going to be headed to San Diego Comic-Con. Now that you guys know what the July membership box is, make sure you guys become a member. I would love for you guys to become a member. All right, let's get into the next segment right here. When collecting comics, sometimes it's okay to judge a book by its cover. And by that, these masterpieces deserve a space on your wall. This is where we talk about this week's ratio exclusive and variant covers in a segment I like to call Cover Frame. So in this week's Cover Frame, there is a few exclusives that I saw, and these are all coming from Unknown Comics, and Unknown's known for having some pretty solid covers, and these are the ones that really caught my eye for this week. It's something I want to talk to you guys about. A couple of them come from one of my favorite artists. I actually met this artist before. And he's an awesome guy. Matter of fact, I met him at Fan Expo, and then I saw him again at San Diego Comic-Con the last time I went. And what was cool is that he remembered me too. I was like, oh my God, like Steven Segovia knows who I am. So it was really cool seeing Steven Segovia, who's an artist, and him remembering me, because I had a really cool meeting with him at Fan Expo 1 year. So for this week's Cover Frame, Steven Segovia's White Virgin variant, Transformers number 31. You see here Bruticus battling a Devastator right here. Now this one's available at Unknown Comics, $35, signed by Steven Segovia. A solid, beautiful looking cover right here. And like I said, I met Steven Segovia, a few years ago. He's a fantastic artist. He's a really good dude, real chill. I remember I asked him to do I asked him to do a sketch for me. I have this jam piece, Void Rivals #1 jam piece, and it's just full of artists who did a version of Jetfire for me. And I saw Steven, and I was like, dude, you want to add to this? He's like, yeah, let me do it. He just did a quick little doodle on it. I pulled out my wallet. He's like, no, it's okay, I got it. Thank you so much for remembering me. I'm like, dude, thank you for remembering me. So it was cool being able to make that connection with an awesome artist like Steven Segovia. And then right here, going back, again, available at Unknown Comics. This one too, this is his Transformers number 34. Talking about Jetfire, this is the White Virgin Jetfire variant right here, with Steven Segovia's rendition of Jetfire on the cover. I think this thing looks pretty solid right here. I think it's pretty cool. And it's something definitely, I'd like to look into possibly adding to my collection. And, of course, taking the pictures with the comics and with the figures. That's something that I like to do. So that right there looks solid. And then this right here, Ivan Tao, another phenomenal artist from Malaysia. This is his Energon Universe Special 2026 version. Now, this right here, you you would need to get. I scoured Unknown Comics' website and I couldn't see, or I didn't find this comic on its own. But if you want to add this one to your collection, this actually does come in a pack with Steven Segovia's Bruticus. This one right here, Bruticus cover. So this one and this one together, $30. $30 over at Unknown Comics online retailer. And those things are pretty dope. I really like how they look. And of course I have the Bruticus and the Devastator combiners here, so I want to be able to match those up and see how that goes. Let me know, chat, what do you guys think about these covers right here? I think they're pretty dope. I think they're pretty awesome. So yeah, let me know, what are your thoughts on those right there? I didn't see any San Diego Comic-Con Transformer comic book exclusives, which is something I was trying to find before today's show. Maybe next week, for next week's Confabulation, I'll have something for you guys. But this week, I didn't see any. I do know that the San Diego Comic-Con a Skybound panel was announced recently. But today, I believe later on today, we're going to find out what they're going to announce. Some of them are going to be some of the comic book and possibly some figure exclusives. So I'm looking forward to that. And once we find out a little bit more information, I'll definitely post that on my Instagram because I get excited talking about Transformers. That's my thing right there. That's what I love doing right there. So we'll see what happens with Skybound and their announcement later on today. Okay. Let's get into this one right here. Next segment right here. So every week as a community of collectors, we visit our LCSs. We wait for the UPS. We wait for USPS. We wait for FedEx to bring us things here to our house. And this is where I get to share some of our pickups or some of my pickups and mail calls in a segment I like to call Inventory Unlocked. So this is going to be more of a late Father's Day inventory unlock. Last week, I went ahead and showed you guys some of the things that I received when I was on vacation, because I was on vacation during Father's Day and I ended up losing. I left my Legend Scale Optimus Prime on the plane and I posted it on my Instagram. So this is the Energon version, but I had the other version where he had more of the white legs. I left them on the plane, and that figure is traveling in someone's pocket across California, possibly at this moment. So it kind of ruined it didn't ruin, but it kind of messed up the vacation at the beginning. But my kids, for Father's Day, they're like, oh my God, like we better get him something, otherwise he's gonna flip. And they did. In wonderful. I love my kids right here. So they got me this tiny little Cyberverse Optimus Prime right here for Father's Day. So this was my pocket transformer for most of the trip afterwards. And I started doing the whole pocket transformer trend. I put it up on my Instagrams and TikTok and just sharing, where Optimus went while we were on vacation. He had a couple of drinks with me, chilled on an island overlooking the beach and just hung out. So big shout out to my kids for doing this right here. I thank them and I love them for it. And then they also got me this Optimus plushie, and I just needed this one right here. I needed this right here. I needed to add this. So I got this right here and they gave this to me. So this is part of my Father's Day gift. And then my girlfriend, she's like, I don't collect Pokemon, but I thought this was really cool. So she ended up making me this Pokemon card. And on the back, gave me some specs, pictures of me and the kids right there. And I loved it. So these are my Father's Day pickups right here. So that's my mail call. That's my inventory unlock. That's what I'm going to show you guys. Next week I'll show you guys some other stuff, but I think I wanted to show you guys something a little bit more meaningful this time around, because, well, because it means a lot to me, you know? And that's the things that we like to do. That's the things that I like to do, is just share with you guys things that I love. Things that I love, and the people that love me, and they say, hey, this is gonna make you happy. Oh, wait. I got something else that came in. Check this out. I dropped the box. But my buddy hits me up, my boy Ronnie. He's like, hey, do you have this? I'm like, no, I don't. He's like, all right, I'm gonna send this over to you. So what this is, and it's funny because it says it's the alternate universe Optimus Prime. What it is it's the dead Optimus Prime from it's not the one from the 86 movie. The mold is completely different, but I got this from him right there, and he's like, yeah, I'll just give it to you, you know, that's cool, no worries about it. So shout out to my boy Rodney out there who sent me this right there, add to the collection. That's really cool, you know. And what I do like to do is I really do want to keep all of the gifts that are given to me. So if you have ever given me a Transformer, or if a Transformer has been gifted to me in any way, shape, or form, those are the ones that I really don't get rid of. Even if they have maybe a higher monetary value than normal, I tend to keep those. You know, I want those in my collection as a remembrance, right? You know, as a memory, because those have a lot more meaning than just being able to buy one from the store and pick one up, you know? So like gifts matter, you know? And yeah, that's it for inventory unlocked this week. Those are some of the things that I ended up picking up. Well, not picked up, right? They were given to me. They gave to me right there. Let's get into the next one right here. So every week, noise gets louder. New comics, new books, new drops, new figures, new chaos. And if it matters to the world of Transformers culture, I'm going to talk about it in this week's The Signal. So what was cool is this morning I found out that Hasbro announced something really cool. A matter of fact, I'm going to bring it up on Instagram, because they have a little video that talks a little bit about it right here. Sounds like the Rainmakers are coming. If you don't know what the Rainmakers are, they are a set of seekers, and what they do is that they more focus on environmental and chemical warfare. So they're pretty much like the Starscream mold, you know, but they're not under Starscream. This is a set of seekers that are actually their commander, I believe, is Soundwave or Shockwave, one of those two. I completely forgot. And this morning, Hasbro announced that the Seekers are on the way. Let me go ahead and turn this down right here, and we're going to listen to this Hasbro rep talk a little bit about it.
This item no matter what. It does not matter how many pre-orders we get, but we are only making the amount that we get for pre-orders. The Rainmakers all showed up in the first season when everybody has to run to Cybertron to get a part from Wheeljack's science lab so they can save Optimus Prime. And then of course Sunstorm is an unnamed character that shows up in the very first episode of Transformers. So obviously we have done the Rainmakers in the past. We did a previous Siege 3-pack when we used our Tetrajet mold. When doing the deco for these guys, we wanted to give them more traditional Seeker color breaks. So that's kind of why we have changed the deco ever so slightly, but we will be matching the colors that you see right here. It's just that these are painted prototypes, so some of the paint will look a little bit different compared to molded plastic. So going back to all this then, this pre-order is going to go live on July 10th. It's going to run through August 24th, and then it's going to ship fall 2027. This is not replacing a HasLab. There will be a HasLab announcement later this year. Please let me know your thoughts and comments. And yeah, I'll talk to you all later.
I never did like rain, acid, or otherwise.
So I hope you guys heard that right there. Yeah, the Rainmakers are on the way. They are going to be in the Starscream mold this time, and not the prototype mold, because they were released a few years ago. But this time around, they're actually going to be in the Starscream mold, and I'm kind of excited for it. However, let's take a look at their site, because the price was kind of shocking to me. I'm like, oh my goodness, wait, what's going on? So they will give you time to pre-order, and what they're saying is that they're only going to make exactly the amount that is pre-ordered. And once the deadline hits, they're not going to make any more. So this guarantees anyone who wants this set that they're going to get the set. And I think that's pretty cool. However, however, look at that price tag. $150 for 4 Seekers. I think that's kind of pricey, you know, and I think that they're kind of going around it, the right way, because they're seeing that, people aren't picking them up at the stores anymore. Or if they are, it's scalpers that's picking them, at least this time around. It allows people to go ahead and pre-order something that they want, add it to their collection, and they're guaranteed to get it. Now, these things do get released in 2027. They just need to know exactly how many to make, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Exactly the amount of orders that they get is what they're going to make. I think they look great. We're going to get the rainbow. We're going to get Sunstorm, Iron Storm, all the storms here that are involved in the Seeker set right here. But for $150, and these things are only coming in at 6.5 inches tall. It might be a tall order for a lot of people who may want or may not want them. It's something that I'm thinking about. But if I'm going to do this, I'm going to need to sell some things in order for me to get this right here. And then it just comes down to, is it worth it? Is this something that I want in my collection? I'm thinking hard about it, but what do you guys think? Is this something that you guys want in your collection? Is this something that you think that you can add to the collection? Let me know down in the comments below. Yeah, for anyone who's watching this on the replay or anyone here in the chat, let me know, is this something that you want to do? Look at this. Joe Prime is in the house. Whoo, what's up, y'all? What's going on, Joe Prime? Thank you for showing up, my friend. Yeah, that seems a little much. I completely agree, Ryan. I completely agree. But at the same time, there's going to be people out there who want to complete a set. And then if you have the other Seekers, adding the Rainmakers might be a pretty cool thing to do too. Now that's if you want to. I'm personally thinking about doing it. I'm not going to be one of those people that can order like 2 or 3 and try to flip it, because you're not going to really make much money off of it. Yes, it's going to be limited, but at the same time, these are also very, very niche within the niche. So as a collector who's trying to flip, like, is it worth it? I don't know. I don't see the value of these going up beyond the 150 myself, but we'll see what happens. You can't really tell what the market is going to look like in a couple of years. Joe, I'm gonna get these for sure. Joe, look at that. Joe's excited for this. I love it. Well, I'm glad, Joe. And then my boy Matt, Heroes for Hire Club. Hey, man, what's going on, Matt? Thank you for showing up, my friend. I really appreciate it. I love you, man. Love you. So yeah, the Seekers right here, it's kind of a tall order right there. Not sure if I'm gonna do it myself, but again, we'll see. To each his own. So BotCon, like I said, is this weekend, and they have an exclusive, and this exclusive is pretty dope, to be honest with you. And to all my friends that are at BotCon, please be safe, have fun, safe travels. If you're on your way to BotCon, enjoy. Again, safe travels. Have a lot of fun. That's the biggest thing, because I'm completely jealous that you guys are going to be able to take a look at this one right here. So this is a BotCon exclusive. BotCon's in Chicago this year. This is what they call the Hello Abaddon, which is a Galvatron mold with a Megatron head and Megatron colors, and it does come with a couple of different head sculpts. This is by Agabus this is by Agabus and X Transbots, and X Transbots a really good and famous third-party company right here. It's only available at BotCon. Now, taking a look at what some some of my buddies have told me, the price for this, I didn't put the price here, but the price for this is at the con. Let me get the number. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here we go. $240. $240 for this BotCon Galvatron crossover Megatron colored figure right here. It's pretty dope. It's pretty sexy. I think it's a really good looking bot. The colors are awesome, you know, and I don't know, maybe it's the lighting that makes this right here look amazing. But it is a sexy looking figure, and not gonna lie, I kind of want it. Yeah, see, I'm with you, Jonathan. $240 for this BotCon exclusive. Yeah, that's pretty insane. Well, I shouldn't say insane, but that is pretty high. That is pretty high in my opinion. But I think it looks great. And if I can afford it, I probably would ask somebody to pick it up for me. You know, we'll see what happens. Rocker Royale. What's going on? Howdy. What's going on, brother? Thanks for coming by. Really appreciate it, bro. What do you think about this, man? What do you think about the Hello Abaddon from X-Trans Bots? Let me know. You know, this is what I want to engage with you guys. I want to engage with you guys. San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. This is a few things that came up. This is the Optimus Prime Jazz cereal pack. I like the idea of the cereal pack, bringing you back to the 80s and eating your cereals during a Saturday morning cartoon. There is an Optimus Prime in there. It looks like the articulation's pretty cool. It looks like it's molded similarly to the G1 Optimus, and he stands at about 5.5 inches tall, while there's a Jazz that it comes with. And that guy right there, transformed in robot mode, is going to be at 3.5 inches tall. This thing's going for $74.99 at San Diego Comic-Con. And not gonna lie, I might get it. I might get it, you know, but I like the idea of it being in the cereal box. I think that's just the coolest part to me. Yeah, it's kind of super nerdy, but it brings it back to a much, you know, calmer time in our lives, you know, back in the 80s when we were growing up. Here's another San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. This is the Blaster Gem and the Holograms mashup. This is Blaster painted in the style of the 80s cartoon Gem and the Holograms. It does come with a couple of tapes. It looks like their names are Glitz, Sundor, and Rosanna. And I believe that was the name of like the opposing. I forgot. To be honest, I completely forgot. But it does come with a looks like a guitar and a few other accessories right there. Very pastelish. It's got that Gem and the Holograms star right there. I don't know. When I first saw this, I'm like, I don't know about this. And then the more I look at it, the more I'm like, maybe. So this one right here retails for $59.99, available only at San Diego Comic-Con that weekend. I'm looking. I don't know. For $150 for the Seekers, for the $80 for that Optimus, and for that $60 for this Blaster, I feel like there's other stuff that I might be able to get that I can add to my collection that I would truly want. Truly want. Truly outrageous. Truly outrageous. Jeff, what's going on? Thank you so much for coming by and hanging out. Who was asking for that? No, thank you. What's up, Jeff? What's going on? Yeah. I did see what you there. I did see what you did there. It's truly outrageous. Yeah, you're right. No one asked for it, and I really don't know who it's for either. But it might be for someone. Yes, the Mystery Machine. It looks a little weird. I think I'm going to skip out on that one right there. I don't know. But there's a lot of people that picked up like Gigawatt and the Ghostbusters one, and then adding the Mystery Machine. I get it. If you have all of the other ones prior to, yeah, you might want to do it. You know, I think there was even a Maverick from Top Gun. So Hasbro's, you know, doing a lot of the crossover stuff with like famous vehicles. I think Kit from Knight Rider was another one too. I'm not sure. It's not for me, but at the same time, you know, I can't knock it because it's for someone. It's for you. Maybe you too. Maybe you too. It's for the dumpster. For those prices, they might be more than meets the eye. There's a Maverick Top Gun. Yeah, there is. There is. Don't slow down. Yeah, yes, there is, but it's not the greatest. Don't think Gundam. Don't think Macross. But yeah, there is a Top Gun Transformer crossover. But check it out. You know, it might be for you. You know. Yep, that one goes on sale on Amazon all the time. Surprisingly, they talk about the Maverick one, I believe. You know, so yeah, you know, that's some of the exclusives that I saw this week for you know, BotCon, Comic Con, and let me know, are any of those interesting? Are anyone interested in those interesting bots right there? We need a Team Van Transformer. You know what? I'm waiting for what's his name? Or what's their name? Because I think they're non-binary in the Energon universe. Carly's van. It's got a funny name too. Oh my goodness, I forgot. But I believe that they're gonna come out with that van version too. You know, comics and then comic or Image Comics is Transformers is pretty big, so it's hard to deny what can be done, and I'm sure third parties are already working on it. I know I'm pretty sure Hasbro's already looking into that one as well. Oh man, I was thinking Jeff. Yeah. I heard it in your heart. I heard it in your heart, you know, because when I heard about it too, when I first heard about it too, I'm like, I immediately went to the Macross Jetfire thinking that I was going to be repainted in Maverick colors, but unfortunately it wasn't. You know, A-Team. Oh, I'm wondering, isn't there an A-Team one? I'll look into it. Shredhead, thank you, Jonathan. My saving grace right there. Yeah, A-Team. I got you, Matt. I got you. I understand right there. You know, I hear you. So yeah, you know, it's. Oh, what's going on here? Here we go. All right, let's do this. Let's start collecting some comments here. Since we're talking about exclusives, let's go ahead and start collecting some comments for that Comic Capsule pickup right there. Enter hashtag exclusives right there. I got it right here for you guys. I got them right here for you guys. I have a yellow one too. But we have Comic Capsules for you guys. All right. I got a yellow one, a purple one, and an orange one. Hashtag exclusives. Hashtag exclusives for you to win a Comic Capsule today. Start putting that in right there, my friends. Let's see who can come away with a Comic Capsule. All right. Before we choose a winner, let's go ahead and get to the final topic. Let's confabulate. Let's have a confabulation. Let's talk a little bit about how do you prepare for a convention. Because I'm going to be going to San Diego Comic-Con, and because we have, buddies that are at BotCon this, weekend, and conventions happen all over the nation. I'm the kind of person that I overpack and I overthink things and I overdo things. I want to vlog, I want to record this, I want to record that. I want to get all the B-roll, I want to get interviews, I want to talk to all the people there, make content for the channel. My goal for going to Comic-Cons now is to be immersed in the environment, in the atmosphere. I'm kind of glad that some of the exclusives didn't really capture my heart, but it doesn't prevent me from going to the cons. What it tells me now is that, cool, it's one less thing to think about, and now I can enjoy the con instead of waiting in line for a toy that I may or may not buy, transform, or even take out of the box. So it allows me to prepare, differently, think about this con differently this year, and I wanted to ask you guys, how do you guys prepare for a con? What are some of the things that you like to do at a con? What is your goal? What is your main purpose for being at a convention? Let's have a confabulation. Let's talk about this. I like I said, I like being in the atmosphere. I like being amongst other nerds. But I also like going there for, creating content for the channel. And I'm finding that I find joy in recording video, editing video, and just showing you guys my experience at these conventions that I go to. What I don't want to do this time around is overthink it. And I don't want to spend too much time going back and forth between, vendors. So planning conventions out, it's going to help me out. And I just found out yesterday that I might be going. So now I only have a few weeks to plan out what I need to do, what I want to do, who I want to see, where am I going to eat, which vendors I want to go see. Are there any comic books that I want to add to my collection? So now it's, how do I prep for this con? So people who have gone to conventions in the past, what are some of the main things that you bring with you? Do you pre-order badges? Do you pre-order your ticket? Or are you the kind of person that buys them there? Except for San Diego Comic-Con and WonderCon, like they make you purchase things ahead of time. Do you map out where the vendors and artists are? Do you create a map and say, all right, cool, day one, I'm going to go here, here, and here? Are you the type that goes to cons for exclusives? Let's talk about food too. I'm a foodie. Are you okay with convention food? Or do you want to go out and, grab a hot dog from the vendor across the street? How much time do you decide how do you decide how much time you spend with your friends? Are you the kind that likes to go digging in crates, looking for exclusives, looking for things, or are you just going to vlog? For me, I'm definitely going to vlog this one. I don't think I've ever done like a proper vlog where I show you guys what I'm doing, preparing, getting ready, getting there, showing you guys what I do. I usually go in with a topic, most expensive comic book, most expensive toy, and I'm really thinking about this and thinking about how many topics do I want to record and how much time am I really going to have? And then how much time am I going to have to enjoy the con itself? And it's all in preparation. You can make it run smoothly or it'll be complete chaos. When I went last time, it was absolute and utter chaos. This is when I just got diagnosed with ADHD at that time too. So it's like I was starting to get used to my medicine, and I remember one of the days I was just like, oh my God, just so overwhelming. Taking those breaks during cons matters. It matters for mental health, for your enjoyment, and I'm thinking about that too. Like, all right, when and where do I take my breaks? What do I bring? How am I going to use my camera? So these are all the things that I think about when going to conventions. And I want to know, like, how do people think about conventions themselves? I know you're not as crazy as I am. I know you cannot be as crazy as I am with the idea of thinking that I have time to hang out with friends, grab myself a meal, go to all the vendors I want to go to, and record everything. So I feel like this is going to be a lot more chaotic than last time, but I also feel like it's going to be a lot more fun too, because I have an idea as to what the con looks like. Now, of course, I'm going to go see my friends, and that's another big part of it. A huge part of it, seeing my friends again. Last year, I got to see some of my friends for the first time at Heroes Con, and I'll probably be able to do that again this year, seeing a lot of my friends that I've only met online and met them once at another con in person and say hi. So I think that's what I'm more excited about, is to be with my friends. You know, now thinking about it as a content creator, is this going to be a video about seeing friends again, or is this going to be a video about, you know, collecting exclusives? So like just talking about it and repeating everything that I'm saying, you guys have an idea as to how my brain works, and it's madness up in here. Madness, you know. And so that's why I wanted to have this conversation with you guys. For sure, I'm going to be bringing my camera gear. You know, I'm going to bring my daytime clothes and then my evening clothes. I know there's going to be some, you know, after hours events after the con. There's other things that happen. You know, Gas Lamp District is live and vibrant. You know, you want to dress your best for that, you know. But it's also how much energy am I going to have to really do everything that I'm saying that I want to do? And now I just thought about it in my head, you know, now that I'm talking about this, let me ask you guys, what do you want to see from me? You know, I'm going to go there, I'm going to experience it, but what kind of content matters to you as my audience? You know, let me know down in the chat. Let me know down in the comments below if you watch this on the replay. You know, what's the kind of content that someone like me, you know, you'd like to see? Because it can get kind of crazy. Let's see, everyone's dropping their exclusives, or the hashtag. When until the engineer combiner self-transforming bot devastator. That would be crazy if RoboSyn can actually create a combiner. That would be madness. Let me see. Digging the mellow background music. Well, thank you, Jeff. Very chill, like the lo-fi. Welcome to Eman's World of Geek, where today we're talking about Transformers. That's right. I'm feeling lucky. Yes, you should, Jeff. You should. Jeff, Heroes Con taught me a painful lesson. Bring 2 times the money you think you're going to need. Hold on. There's a difference between need and want, okay? You know, need and wants. But yes, of course, more money helps. I made a plan at Heroes Con. I mapped where the artists I wanted to meet, and I wrote out a budget for food at the hotel. See, that's smart. That's what normal people do. That's what you should do. This specific brain isn't normal, so I might need you to text me later on again and just remind me, hey, map out and plan out what you want to do. Write it down on paper, you know, because ADHD. I put myself in some financial pain by going to Heroes all the way from Cali, but it was well worth it. My main goal was to meet my YouTube nerd buddies and have some StreamYard. Hey, you know what? That's exactly the same plan that I had for Heroes Con last year. I'm also from California. I'm here in the Bay Area, Jeff, and I flew to Heroes Con last year where I met some of my friends. Some of them are here in the chat right now, like Matt from Heroes for Hire. I don't know if I met Bryant last year. But I met a lot of friends, and I wanted to do the same thing, meet with some YouTube buddies. And that was like the biggest thing about my Heroes Con video, was that I wasn't there just for comic books. I was there to meet my friends for the first time. And that was more meaningful to me. So I completely understand almost everything. Well, no, everything you said there. You know, the vet is going this year. That's right. You're talking about the comic vet, Chris from Canada. Yes, and I've actually talked to Chris too about it. I told him I might be going, so we're trying to see how it can work because Chris is only going to go there for a couple of days, and he's going to go during like the non-busy times, which is smart. You know, so I'm happy for him right there. I'm a digger. I love flipping through books. I always find something I didn't know I needed. Yeah, see, and that's the fun part about, you know, being a comic book collector is that you can dig through the crates and be like, dude, this is actually dope. I don't know what this is, but it looks interesting. Or you might find a deal just accidentally. There might be, a diamond in the rough. I have a buddy who was doing vending at Emerald City Comic Con about 4 or 5 years ago, like right after the pandemic. And he would have like dollar boxes in like value price boxes, but he would slip like a $20 or $30 book in there, just to see who actually digs, because he enjoyed people looking and digging through the crates. And yeah, he actually sold a couple of $100 books for a fraction of the price because he enjoyed seeing the people's faces when they found it. So digging through the crates, man, like that might, we'll find a gem. You will find a gem. In the past, I made a list for everything: budget, hit list purchases, sightseeing, restaurants, etc. Yeah, see, and that's my problem is it's difficult for me to make a list because I won't have a list. I'll have like a phone book full of things that I want to do and see. And then it's just a matter of going through, okay, which ones are more important, which ones isn't. And I tend to spend so much time doing things like that. Bogsy's in the house, and I met Boggs at Heroes Con last year also, another friend that I met for the first time, one of our YouTubers, so in seeing that, being able to do that, hang out with my YouTuber friends, it meant a lot. Remember, #exclusives, everyone, for your chance to win a comic capsule today. Hope to see you again, Eman, in person. Me too, Vogsy. Me too. I want to be able to see my friends again. I did not see you at Heroes Con. That's right, Brian. Just want to make sure. Thank you for that right there. So I think this year I am definitely going to need to make a plan. And I'm really going to need to sit down and say, this is how much time I'm going to spend recording, interviewing, and really figure out what I really want out of the con. Do I want to get artists, unknown art? One thing I just thought about it right now. One thing I did do before was start a jam piece with Void Rivals #1 at Blank, and just started collecting sketches. But that I have a lot of big names on there. I have Dan Quintana on there. I have Miko Suwayan on there. Frank Cho. John Romita Jr. I had this Void Rivals jam piece that I have is dope, and so I started a second one last year at Heroes, and that ended up being female Asian artists only, and they did phenomenal jobs on this, but they didn't do remarks. They did like almost full-on pieces. So thinking about it, I'm gonna bring that, and I'm gonna bring my other Void Rivals and really separate, like, all right, I'm gonna keep one strictly only female Asian artist. It was just by chance. It wasn't like that was the thing I wanted to do. It was just by the end of the day, I'm like, oh my God, that's all I got. So I'm probably gonna want to get that one finished. I'm gonna bring the main Void Rivals one and have some other, hopefully some big names add to it. I'll probably bring another blank specifically for the independent artists whose art that I do enjoy, and see if they can, help me create another jam piece there. And who knows? Some of those artists who weren't discovered may be discovered there at San Diego Comic Con, and next thing we know, they're drawing for Superman, Spider-Man, Transformers in the future. And that's another cool thing about going to Comic Cons. I actually, thinking about it, that's one of my favorite things, is like seeing up and coming artists, meeting them at Comic Con, and then you hear about it years later. Oh man, dude, they have their own book with Image, or holy crap, they're drawing Batman. You know, and I'm like, I like to say like, hey, I saw them at Comic-Con. I got a jam piece from them, you know, or a little sketch. So that's definitely a thing I'm gonna do right there. Matter of fact, I can find me another Transformer blank or Void Rivals blank and bring that right there. So there you go. There's a mission. That's content. That's video content right there for the channel. Got to hang with Matt and Vogsy and got to see Chris a few times as well. That's dope. Wait, Jeff, did we meet each other, or was that at this year's Heroes Con? Let me know. Let me know. I win a Comic Capsule. Make a video or post and promote Eman 10 so people can get 10% off. That's right, Bryant. Thank you very much. Remember, you guys, Comic Capsule is a sponsor of the channel. Head on over to comiccapsule.com and enter code Eman10 for 10% off your next order of Comic Capsules. All right, we're about to run this, and I think I've gotten everything up. I think I've gotten everything out. What's going on, DJ? How's it going, man? Thank you for coming by. You came in at the very end, but man, you know what? If I were you, start adding that right there. Hashtag exclusives there in the chat for your chance to win a yellow, purple, or orange comic capsule, which I'll get that over. So make sure, throw that in there, DJ. I want you to be entered into this also. All right, but Ryan threw in his exclusives right there. Vogsy's throwing, making sure that he doesn't get missed, you know. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. You know, thank you guys. This was a good therapy session for me to get all my thoughts out and kind of start designing what I want to do at Comic-Con this year, because it's massive. It's Heroes Con was a huge convention, but you guys who've been to Heroes Con don't know anything about the scale of San Diego Comic-Con. It's incredible. However, Heroes Con, strictly for artists and for comic books, that right there too is chef's kiss when it comes down to what a Comic Con is. A comic convention. It's not San Diego Comic Con, which is the world's largest pop culture con. It is comic centric and absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love the idea there, Bryant. I love it. This year at Heroes, Matt was like the general with the battle plan. Heck yeah. Matt knows. That's why. Matt knows. He's been to Heroes Con before, and he saw how crazy it is. There you go, DJ. You're in. Jonathan's in. All right, you guys. I'm gonna run this right here. Good luck to you guys. Remember, purple, orange, yellow comic capsule. That is the choice for today. I'm running it in 3, 2, 1. Good luck. Walker Royale #1, dude. You are the winner of a comic capsule, my friend. Congratulations out to you. Hit me up on Instagram, or if you can find me on Facebook, also find me on Facebook at Eman's World of Geek. Let me know. Do you want a purple one? Do you want a orange one, or a yellow comic capsule? Hit me up, let me know, okay? And thank you so much for being in the chat, hanging out with me. And thank you to everyone who's been here in the chat also. I really appreciate it. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook at Eman's World of Geek for all the Transformer goodness and everything that I like to post. And then next week, I'll go ahead and see you guys next week at next week's Confabulation. Hopefully, I'll have a little bit more news next week with regards to what the San Diego Comic-Con Skybound panel is going to be all about, and then definitely going to talk to some friends and see what the aftermath of BotCon, of this weekend's BotCon, was all about, and hopefully we'll be able to see the goodness that BotCon was all about. Maybe some other figures that might come in next week. Crossing my fingers. Hopefully there's a couple of figures that come in. Keep an eye out here on the YouTube channel because I have quite a few reviews to do, and I'm working on a few scripts for lore within the Transformer universe, and then I'm also working on a top 5 video. So there's a lot of things in my head that I'm going to work on that I already have for my brain down to the pen onto a pad. So there's a lot of content coming here on the YouTube channel. Oh, Jean Malo, sorry for being late. Sorry because you are coming in at the tail end. I kicked myself out again. I kicked myself out again. But yeah, John, have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully Skybound will talk about the animated show. Yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. There you go, Walker. Congratulations, man. Hit me up, okay? All right, you guys, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week here on The Confabulation.